Shaun Clancy is owner, proprietor, all-around good guy of Foley's New York Pub and Restaurant. You can follow him on Twitter at Shaun from Foley's. And if you're in New York City, by all means, go down to Foley's. 18 West 33rd. It's between 5th and 6th and Broadway. Mr. Clancy, it's a long time. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm actually thinking I should hire you to come out, make that speech every now and then. It made me feel very special. How are you, Jeff?
I am doing well, my friend. Like I said, it's been too long. I have not been to New York for a long time, and
well, it's okay. You're always welcome, and your baseball is still on the wall. I checked last night.
Thank you. Everybody's always welcome at Foley's. So, give me an update. Have you been able to make contact with the Pope's people? Because look, everything I know of this guy, everything we read, everything we see, Shaun, he may come down, jump behind the bar with, in his habit and pull a couple of pints.
Well, you're very, very, you're very right about that, because right now the city is kind of in lockdown, or Pope down, if you want to call it. They have all the streets blocked off, and I asked a friend of mine who's in the police office, why have you got so many of these streets blocked off? And they said, because this guy's they don't know what he's going to do. He could decide at the last minute that, no, I'm not going to go down Fifth Avenue. I want to go to side streets. So they have to have all eventualities covered. Back to have I been in contact? He obviously hasn't gotten to New York. He doesn't get here till tonight. But just the thing about this was, why I did this was, as you well know, you never know who somebody knows or somebody doesn't know. And I was hoping to reach somebody who might know somebody, and that's what has amazed me. As of right now, I think I've had conversations with 6 or 7 people who have called me and said, look, I can't promise, but my uncle's working a security detail here, or my son is singing for him. And in fact, 2 of my customers, who I never even knew were Catholic, actually are going to have private audiences with him.
There you go.
So, I don't expect them to whip out a baseball, but all I'm hoping is that somebody's going to tell his secretary or one of his details, hey, there's a crazy Irish guy that's willing to give 1,000 meals to homeless if he'll sign a baseball.
Jeez. I got to correct you,
that I can put next to yours.
Nuns wear habits.
Priests
wear cassocks, right? That's the old altar boy in me coming out here. Just, right. I had to just, you got to get these things straight. Okay. I know they look the same, right?
Well, okay, nuns' habits, cassocks. I apologize.
So this is
I'm going to get hammered on Twitter. I can just tell.
No, you probably won't. But
it's the Orangeman in me coming out. It's the orange side of the family. I apologize for that.
Yeah, exactly. Shaun, aside from, go ahead.
I said we're all God's children, so it doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah, to a greater or lesser degree, depending on the circumstance. But aside from the Jeff Blair ball there, which I'm sure you're very proud of, Shaun, like what is the actual prize of your collection?
Here's the tough question: that's kind of like asking who's your favorite kid. I did some checking last night. Jeff was one of the first 300 baseballs that was signed for me. And I had 3 members of the White Sox in last night, 3 of the younger guys, Trace Thompson, Mika Johnson, and third one, Saladino. And they were the 3,179th, 80th, and 81st baseballs that we have signed. And, there's so many. So there's a story that goes with so many of the baseballs, like, not to embarrass Jeff, but I had to coerce him into signing because he felt like he didn't belong and he didn't want to sign a baseball the night in question. But
I was also Shaun, I have to admit, I was also pretty much in my cups at that point and just scribbling my name.
The signature's nice and clear, though.
It's
pretty good.
It was harder than you might have thought at that particular point in time, Shaun.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention the fact that you might have been overserved, but the guy who brought those 3 guys in last night was Joe McEwing, the third base coach for the White Sox. Joe was the first baseball.
Oh, really? Okay.
On the wall. But one of the reasons why I did this was, I guess last week, about 2 weeks ago, I had an opportunity to put 3 baseballs on the wall that have no connection whatsoever, apart from the fact that they all signed baseballs. Frank Sinatra Jr., Penn and Teller, and Tommy Hilfiger. And this is kind of what started the idea. Was I was sitting in Foley's and I was having lunch with one of my friends, and he had a business acquaintance with him, and we were chatting back and forth. And so he mentioned fashion, and I'm like, look at me. I mean, do I look like a pillar of fashion? And he started to laugh. He says, I work for Tommy Hilfiger. And I said, well, so I said, do you think Tommy'd sign a baseball? He said, give me one. Sure enough, a week later, I got a baseball signed by Tommy Hilfiger. So you never know who knows somebody, and that's how this all came about. I get asked a lot about the question you asked about my favorite baseball. The other question I get asked is, what is the baseball that I don't have that I want? And to be honest, the only baseball that is out there that I don't have, that I would truly, be willing to allow for is, I know somebody who has a baseball signed by Pope John Paul II. Like, we're going in a whole different round there. This guy's a saint. So that would be my the holy grail of baseballs.
Yeah. That's going to be I'm thinking he probably didn't sign any others, though, right? So that's probably tricky. There's probably not a whole lot of them out there.
This guy has 4, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. He did some work for the he did some. This is how, again, you never know who knows somebody. He did some work for the Italian Baseball Federation, and it so happens that the son of the guy who's the head of the Italian Federation is the Pope's secretary.
So there's a precedent for this Pope thing, though. So that would be a compelling argument for the new Pope, would be to say, look, you're not the first Pope that's done it. Other popes have done it. Why not you?
Right, and the thing is, it's not the first bit. What I was afraid of when I mentioned this in the first place was people think I've been disrespectful. It's not about being disrespectful, But he has signed the baseball. There was an American cardinal who asked him to sign it, so he has seen and signed the baseball, and he is a man of the people. And obviously, he, as you mentioned in your intro, he's named after St. Francis of Assisi. One of my dearest friends who passed away last year was a Franciscan priest, Father Pat Fitzgerald, huge baseball fan. Grew up around the corner from up in Buffalo, and would tell great stories about watching Warren Spahn, and so he. That's on my connection with St. Francis. And every year at Christmas and every year on Father Pat's birthday, which is St. Patrick's Day, I donate food to St. Francis of Assisi, and they help feed the homeless in New York.
Shaun, listen, it was great of you to join us. And knowing you, I know that the reason you want that ball goes beyond just simply, hey, look, the Pope signed a ball for me.
Absolutely.
It's a terrific story. I hope it works out, and we'll keep a cold one for me. I'll be down there.
No problem. The door's always open for you. And listen, if you have, Jeff, as you have tenure in Foley's, if you decide that your partner there deserves a baseball on the wall, next time he comes in, maybe we can find a spot for him.
You got pull, Blair.
That'd be perfect.
I'll be there. Yeah, I think I'm not sure about these taverns. I haven't visited many, but. I'm willing to give it a try.
I'll have to check. We'll have to check, because a good friend of mine is Troy Hawkins, and if I get Hawk's blessing, we can make this work.
I like that.
Martinez, Bucks on the wall too.
There you go. That
I could arrange. Yes, I think I could get Bucks' blessing.
Shaun, thanks so much, man. It's great to talk to you. Be well.
Take care. Goodbye.